Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SleepWalker Nightmares. There's no introduction, there's no menu, and there's no sound. Well, there is a menu, but a very dull menu. So we're just going to get straight into it and see what happens. So, I've had a very nasty day, and I'm really hoping that this recording can go a little bit better than the other recordings that I've tried to do today, and the other things that I've tried to do. So, I don't remember the details of this game, I don't remember what we're supposed to be doing, or why we're here. But we're trying to find a number of candles, and we seem to be in a maze. And there are some very large, shiny shrooms. So, at least if we get a little bit stuck in here, we can cook up some of these shiny shrooms. I have no idea what that was. We can cook up some shiny shrooms and pretend like our day is going better than it actually is. Okay. So the art style is nice. It's a little shiny, but otherwise much more professional looking than most of the things that we see. Okay, so we've gone from old stone architecture to space age doorways. Oh. And frosted glass that I've never seen the point of. Like, seriously, what is the point of frosted glass? Like, if you don't want to see, put a wall. If you do want to see, put a window. It's not complicated. Right, sorry, here's me wittering on about glass, and here's you dying. Are you alright, friend? No, you're not alright. What if I sit on your face? Will that make things better? Will that improve the situation? Will that help your horrible bleeding problem if I sit on your face? Probably not. It doesn't usually help people's severe problems when I do that. Hi, friend. Hi. Where did all of your clothes go? Well, you don't seem particularly interested in having your face sat on either, so I suppose, since the only skill that I possess has been nullified in terms of usefulness, I will leave. Some sound. For that I'm grateful. Okay, right, sorry, I will try and take this a little bit more seriously. It's locked. And is reusing the same locked door sound that every indie game seems to use. Okay, well, our friend is still there. Friend hasn't moved. So presumably I'm like him, since he has a flashlight and I have a flashlight, and I can only assume that I'm vaguely human. So presumably we were sent down on some sort of a mission to gather something, or explore something, or find something, or sing songs, or dance jigs, or who the hell knows. Aha! A key. Finally, a key that I can actually see in a game. Okay, so we found a key. Do you hear a voice? I had a voice. Oh, hello. Getting ready to do the Black Sacrament? Or just practicing your breakdancing? That's a fascinating face you have there, my friend. Allow me to sit on it a bit. Strange face. Okay. So did the key I pick up open that door, or did it open the door that we found earlier? I don't know. It looked like rather an old sort of key. It would go to an old sort of door, rather than a more modern door that we saw earlier. But allow me to quickly check. Open? The door is open. Oh, good, it does actually lead somewhere. I was about to get highly cheesed off. So there's clearly been some seismic activity that's been causing problems. Okay, I feel like I should be scared of you, but at the same time, because I've already met two of you, and you didn't pay me the slightest interest, I'm less nervous of you. Okay. This game could do with a little bit of sound. little bit of audible atmosphere. Yeah, you guys really aren't interested in me. You seem mostly humanoid, with the exception of the old facial region, but I suppose you could say the same thing about me. Ah, sorry, I probably should have noticed this was going on a bit sooner, shouldn't I? Oh, I see, you didn't want me to sit on your face, you wanted me to snog you. Ah, suddenly everything makes sense. Well, I won't interrupt those two, lovebirds. I'll leave them to their business. Is this like that scene in Outlast? Let's not look at what's on the far side of this desk, and let's have a look at this computer screen instead. Do not listen to them. Whatever they say, do not listen. They are not who you think you are. Past user login data. Probably the names... Judging by the names, they're probably gaming channels on YouTube. You're not having the world's greatest time, are you? Nice six-pack, though, so well done on that front, friend. Very shiny floor. Oh, no, it's not a shiny floor, it's a wooden floor. Oh, no, it is a shiny floor. Honestly, these shiny floor questions. When will our government finally answer shiny floor questions? I know I don't usually make conclusions about games before we've gotten to the end, but this one is weird, because it's setting up lots of interesting things, like these dying men in hazmat suits, and all of these weird monsters and creatures, but it doesn't really seem to be doing anything with them. Either in terms of sound design or anything else. Hi, friend. You actually going to communicate with me? No. Okay. Was this game in beta? I'm starting to think this may have been the game that I downloaded that was in beta, and if that's the case, that may explain why some things seem a little bit incomplete. Okay, you're not dead, but you are injured, and you guys have rifles. Yes. No, I can't make out what they're saying. You escaped the maze. You were rescued, but how did they know you were in there? Head to the main menu and play part 2. What? So you say press escape. It did say press escape, didn't it? Or am I just an idiot? I don't know. Was this the... I don't know. This game is currently being expanded upon, let's put it that way. Find the flashlight and investigate. Investigate what? Note to self. What does that say? Jammed a bunch of pencils in a door last time I was allowed out of my cell. What a productive Friday afternoon. The exit is just on the left. There is a security post down there to the right. Do not go there. Okay, what is that? I think it's a picture of a dead Bambi, but I could very much be mistaken. Okay, so we're in some sort of a padded prison cell. Okay, so it said don't go right to the security room because that would be a bad idea. So allow me to go right to the security room because it's a bad idea. So if you just wanted to see this game be played sensibly, you wouldn't have come to me. Hello. Hello, Mr. Security Man. Right. Where is security? To all complex staff. I suppose any boring people cannot bother reading this email. Emergency protocol active. It seems that subject number redacted has escaped his holding cell and is currently loose in the testing side of the facility. All security, please proceed with caution. So there's somebody dangerous having a wander around. Hello. How are you? You're quite tall in comparison to me, so I'm going to stop standing quite so close to you so it's not so obvious. Okay, I can't interact with this door, and I can't interact with this. So let's keep moving, let's keep waltzing around and see what else we can find. Now, am I the test subject they're talking about? Or is the test subject the monster that I'm going to have to try and avoid? Open door. No, I guess one of you guys is the monster that I'm trying to avoid. I'll have this key. It reminds me of the keys in Slime Rancher. What did it say? Multiple witnesses infused with serum by Dr. Howard. Recent tests indicate intense and sudden brain seizures during the first 2 weeks after the transformation period. Current infused subjects are to be sent to the maze as they enter their final transformation stage for further testing. Oh, I see. So we start with a person, maybe somebody like me who's been captured. They begin to transform, their clothes fall off, and they get slightly emaciated. They then grow into this big, strong fella. And then they turn into some eldritch abomination that is whatever the hell this is. Okay, and there's some formulas up here that I can't read. So that explains what the creatures were in the maze that we saw. They were test subjects that had a special serum put on them in order to do something to them, to transform them into super soldiers or slave labor or, you know, just Dr. Howard's pet project. Ooh. Mr. Tall Friend is gone. Oh, I think Mr. Tall Friend might be dead over there. Okay, so we found a key, but I don't think we've used it yet. So let's go back past the cell and back the other way. I haven't seen the pencils in the door yet. I don't even know how you'd fit a load of pencils into a door. Excuse me. But never mind. Let's keep looking around. So maybe I was sent to the maze by accident. And I had to be rescued, and that's why they sent those people in there. Find a key for halfway door. Is that an air raid siren? Are the Nazis coming? Oh dear. Well, I'm very familiar with this site. How are you? This is the end. They were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't think to stop if they should. Watch your back. Oh, I see. Science run amok, eh? And finally, this game turns into a horror game. Thank you. There's a lot more atmosphere this time around, which is odd given the fact that this is stage 2. You'd think they'd build up stage 1 first, but who knows. So, the monsters don't seem that interested in assaulting me yet. Emphasis on the word yet. It's so dark. Hi, friend. You have a bone saw stuck in your shoulder. I'm not convinced that's a good thing, but I can't access you, so I'm going to leave you to your business. And send you my thoughts and prayers, because apparently that's very effective. Okay. So, clearly some efforts have been made to prevent the monsters from getting to everybody else. Maybe the scientists borrowed some money off them. 22, 20, so that must be what the... Oh no, I was going to say that must be the... I was going to say that must be a day, but then again it couldn't be, because there aren't 22 days in any month, nor are there 22 months in a year, so... transcript number 2346, conversations between subject 39 and redacted. When do I get to see my family? We can't let you leave our facilities after what you have seen, so you're going to kill me. No, but the maze might. Okay. So they were taking test subjects, presumably without their consent, or at least taking them for longer than they had consented to, in order to experiment on them. Presumably out of scientific curiosity rather than any other reason, as alluded to by that man. Please stop breakdancing. Okay, so... I think the doors are broken in general. Okay, never mind the broken doors and everything else. Can I access this or not? No, I don't think this works. Okay, what about this door? More security cameras. No, I can't access this either. Okay, so what am I supposed to do now? This is definitely locked. I definitely can't get through here. I mean, I could easily squeeze through if I was trying. Oh, I think there's some more dogging going up there as well. Lovely. Still haven't seen this flashlight either. Okay. Give me a minute, I'll wander around a bit, and, well, don't even give me a minute, give me a split second that I'll find something that we haven't seen before. There's much screaming and howling going on. Is this like a storage room? Emergency protocol has been set to active. Full complex lockdown and evacuation activated. Emergency protocol has been disabled. Warning: the protocol disabled, but threats not contained. Oh, that's better. That's much calmer. Why is there a laser wire up there? Okay, so excuse me while I cut the top of my head off so that I can fit into this grate. Okay, I guess it was loading a new area. Never mind. So we shut down the emergency protocol, which is maybe going to make it a little bit easier for me to get out of here, but it's also going to make it easier for the bad guys to get out of here. Although saying that, by the sounds of things, it sounds more like the scientists were the bad guys. Hello? You've got to get me out of here. I thought they came to rescue me too. Just get up and leave. It's not complicated. I mean, what do you want me to do? Cuss up your bacon and eggs as well? Get off your butt, walk out the door and leave. It's not complicated. Subject Matt Flack, gender male, height 5.8, or 5'8" more likely. Currently subject stumbled upon maze, taken into custody until further notice. Subject serum trial requested is accepted. Background check shows subject is living alone in his apartment, redacted, nobody will notice his disappearance. Sounds depressing. Right. So I'm not going to bother helping him, because that's just going to breed dependency culture, and as they've already said, nobody seems to care. So I've always up with these impractically shaped doors. But never mind, we're not here to question the interior decor. Ah, the flashlight, about time. So, our final objective is investigate. Investigate what? I don't know, but with my recent experience in the job market, I am very accustomed to vague directions. So, what does this say? Brawn, heart, wound, what? Former cardival state, drain body fluid. This is some medical thing that's far too complicated for me to understand. And there's an... oh, it's not a picture of a dead deer, it's a picture of a dog lying on the ground. Never mind. Right, what does this say? Gather your research, Howard. I am shutting down the complex in the maze and stopping all further research on the serum. We need to keep this quiet. If one of the witnesses escapes, it could launch a government investigation and could be the end. Evacuate as soon as possible. The main door will be open until redacted. Okay, so this wasn't a government project, and it was very likely against all of the ethicals of the local area, as the government was going to shut them down if they found out. Not that I think after the evidence we've seen so far, you really needed me to point out the fact that this seems like a horribly unethical scientific study. I mean, it's not even a very good scientific study. I haven't even seen any controls yet. How are we going to analyse the results? What's a hypothesis? What level of significance are we testing against? Is it a single blind or a double blind test? I mean, come on, people, for goodness sake, let's do this properly. Oh, gosh. More breakdancing naked people. This is not the time nor the place for such things. What would be the time and place for breakdancing? I'm not even going to acknowledge that. It's a cheap jump scare that caught me off guard. I was trying to make a terrible joke. Right, what does this say? They can't find me in the vents. They can't find you in the vents. They can't find us in the vents. I can't go back to the maze. They can't make me. Okay, I don't know why you were so stressed out about the maze. It was not very complicated. Okay. So having Batmaned our way through the local area, we're ready to read some more documents. All staff ordered to evacuate the complex. Reports confirm that subjects have been traversing the complex through the maintenance vents. At redacted complex, something doors will lock, containing all subjects and witnesses. The main will be sealed, and no further testing shall occur. So yeah, they were definitely getting ready to shut everything down. Make me jump once with a cheap jump scare? Shame on you. Make me jump 3 times with the same cheap jump scare? Shame on me. Right. So, leaving behind whatever ethereal, fast-moving freak that was, we shall continue in our quest for whatever under the sun it is we're trying to find. This seems more like a dead end, so we'll check this area first. Camera system status. They're all false. I think you mean failed. Is that a radio broadcast? Can't make out what it's saying. Okay, my flashlight's just decided to disappear now. Okay, I can't interact with this console, but I can open the door. And like the end of SCP Containment Breach, we can get the heck out of here. Assuming there's not going to be another cheap jump scare. Oh, we're back in the maze. Hi friend, do you have a headache? Seriously, just quickly, what is it currently in games? With when it ends, it quits the program. Why is this a thing? Why can't we just go back to the main menu? Like when games started in the 70s, and then developed on from that point. Could you start, for crying out loud? Thank you. When games started 50 years ago in the 70s, we had a system. When the game was finished, you went back to the main menu. And that system worked absolutely fine for the past 49 years. But for the last 12 months, it seems like every game has decided that no, we're not going to go back to the main menu like some sort of a peasant. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to quit the game instead. Why? Just why? I don't understand. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so, judging from the length, I guess that means there's going to be a shotgun then. There's been a whole lot of these recently. I just haven't been able to find anything that lasts long enough to not be a shotgun. But never mind. This is quite interesting. The first part is in dire need of some atmosphere. Like it has a lot of potential, but it has 2 serious problems. There's no atmosphere in terms of ambiance, in terms of the auditory. It looks pretty and it sets it up well, but it... I understand now the reason that it had the test subjects that have been semi-transformed, the reason that it had them lying around and in pain was because they weren't monsters, they were just test subjects that were suffering and dying. So I was a bit confused at first because I was wondering why it was presenting the monster so quickly and not making the monster scary, which is odd because it did seem to be showing the test subject as a scary thing. Like when we were going down that corridor and there was a light above the monster that was flickering and we were walking towards it and then it disappeared. It seems like it's pitching its monster as the test subject, but then at the same time it's not making the test subject scary because it's just showing it to you in a full light where it doesn't interact with you at all. That might just be because it's early, and it might be that later they do interact with you and they do become a bit scary, and if that's the plan, that's absolutely fine. But if that's not the plan, then I'm a bit confused as to why you do that, because like it's like in a horror game. Like if you remember the big fat butcher character from the beginning of Outlast that chases you frequently. If you look at his like 3D model, like if you just extract his 3D model and just look at it, and then you go and play the game, he suddenly starts being a lot less scary because you know what he's all about. You've seen him in like full light. He's not like cast in shadows and scary anymore. But because of the mystery of the character, if you haven't seen him previously, he's scary. Like, mystery and the fear of the unknown is a very good way of building up a bad guy, because a fear of the unknown is held by every human being. So it's a very consistent way of scaring people. And showing off the test subjects in a way where you could just look at them and study them with the flashlight kind of then takes away the ability to then use them as scarinesses. And with the exception of that big-headed thing that then jump-scared you 3 times in the second part, that seemed to be sort of the only scare factor they were going for, which is a bit of a shame. And admittedly, this might not be being pitched as a horror game, but I can't really see what else it would be being pitched as. But the second part has good ambience. I'm not thoroughly on board with using the same jump scare 3 times. As I said recently, if you're going to use a jump scare, it needs to have a lot of variety in it, or else it's going to get very boring very quickly. But anyway, with the exception of the problems with the jump scares and the design choices of the presenting of the bad guys and the lack of ambiance in part 1, this has potential. It has potential if they flesh out the story a little bit and they make it a bit scarier. This has the potential to be quite an interesting project. So I would like to see how this develops in the future. It's obviously not completed currently, but this is interesting, this has potential, and let's get to the second game of the shotgun. Remember the old days when we had the pleasure of menu music? Those were nice days, weren't they? I think menus had music and games ended and send you back to the main menu instead of sending you back to the beginning. Oh gosh, sorry, I just had terrifying flashbacks to Saber Beast. Oh dear, right, never mind. Easy, recommended first time players. Hard, more files, whatever those are, more enemies, no crosses to bless. Just try to survive as long as possible. Normal, stoops and crosses are randomized, good if you seek a change. Okay, I guess we're sticking with story mode then. What? Until you can see the scene properly, it's perfect when you can recognise the silhouette of the clouds. Yes, I see. Whatever, we should play the game for crying out loud. September 21st, 1849. Come, priest, quick and quiet, as the actress said to the bishop. You are not used to move fervently, are you? How possibly could you be? There is no need for dexterity where you pivot sensors. But that is not what you are here for. You got the mission to saint the Wayhood crosses in the city district, right? It's also just struck me the reason there's no sound because I haven't got the speakers on. That was more honestly stupid of me, wasn't it? Right, so upon my discovery of the fact that there's actually a voiceover explaining all of this, but the fact that it's so small I had to put my volume almost to maximum to hear that, and there's no way I can increase that in the settings enough for you to hear, I shall continue my own voiceover. Don't look at me so deeply shocked. Do you really think you are the first person I was ordered to smuggle into this filthy hell of a city? There have been 4 others before yourself. Normally I smuggle alcohol and such stuff, but since these Satanists took control, nobody dares to step outside. I can only attend to my business in the free districts of the city. The cult overrule everything here. They control streets and every business. Have you heard the stories and what happens in the occupied districts? After they abort the street battles, the follower of the cult plundered their churches and hung every cleric they possibly found and buried them in nameless graves. Ironic, isn't it? There are rumours of a demonic creature they raise which patrols the streets and will attack anyone who is stupid enough to walk around during night. Well, they were right. I saw it, or rather I heard it. Let me give you a word of advice. As soon as you hear something scream, run for it. It is incredibly fast, but you have a good chance to get away if you leg it. Well, we are here. May you have more luck than the others, priest. What fun. Crossy's blessed. There's an objective I haven't had in a long time. So, I cannot go backwards. Okay, is this going to be loud enough for you? Because it seems really quiet on my end. This is probably suicidally dangerous, but I'm going to put the volume up for you. Note, find and bless 12 crosses with your phials of holy water to contain the demonic influence in the city. Listen carefully to your surroundings. Okay, I suppose I'll turn the volume up a bit. Shockingly low volume. Okay, so presumably I have a sprint. Yes, I do. Oh, lantern, can I have this? Okay, I can look left and right by pressing Q and E. Okay. Hold the right mouse button to throw a filled phial. Sounds like a tongue twister. Creatures of darkness will avoid getting in contact with holy water, but do not waste them. They are your keys to success. Okay, if you insist. So, that was once again a very unprofessional introduction to the things that we are doing here this evening, but then again my entire channel is unprofessional. Well, this is lovely. Is that the fire, or is that something else? No, I think it's just the fire. Okay, so ignoring the unbelievably shoddy introduction that we've done, it doesn't seem like there's anything around here I need to interact with or anything I need to take, so I shall be careful not to waste my bottles. Oh, I do have a lance. I was wondering where that came from. Right. Anyway, let's have a wander around. Hold Q or E to turn your head. You can do this while running or interacting. Yes, I got the idea. I figured that out already with my big brain. Could I get 3 steps without there being some sort of a freaky noise or me stumbling across another note? Hold the left mouse button to bless a wayward cross with holy water from the file you have currently selected. What are you talking about? Is that this? Okay, I have blessed a cross. That's fantastic. How am I supposed to bless 12 crosses with only 4 bottles? Presumably I have to go and find more. Okay. Hold the left mouse button to refill an empty file with holy water from a stoop. Use the mouse wheel to rotate between files. Ah, okay, this seems perfectly straightforward. I see, I'd have to find more, I'd have to replace it from the stoop. When you're in danger, hold shift to run. The demon is a fast sprinter, and you will be exhausted quickly. Running away should be your first action if you meet it. Is that going to be now? After you've mentioned that? Or do you just feel like mentioning that? Still not convinced this is loud enough for you. Oh, the joys of editing these things on the fly. Another shrine. Okay, so basically what you're saying is I need to come into town and get everything wet for the sake of making things better? Okay, I've been tasked with this kind of job before. I can manage. I can dig it. I'm slightly confused why I am an awful lot shorter than these coffins are. Maybe I'm a very short clergyman. Oh gosh! So, it's not committing the sin of vanity by paying extreme dedication to its fashion sense. Is it gone? No, it's not. I can still see it. It's walking like the rake. Oh man, another shrine needs a light. But I don't have a thing. Crying out loud. Come on. You really couldn't record more than one sound for this thing? Come on, kiddos. I have more faith in you than that. Oh, great. Now I'm going right back to the beginning. How did I get away from this thing? I don't have enough sprint to outrun it. Crazy fingers. Or is not the idea that you outrun it, is the idea that you just push it away long enough. That thing isn't pleasant, is it? That's not exactly fun on a Christmas bun. Right, give me a minute to refill a little bit of water, which I'm not going to have enough time to do both, but never mind. Okay, so is the idea not to lose it? And I work under the assumption that you're not supposed to lose it for the time being. Right, okay, we've lit that one. Let's keep looking. There's got to be more. This doesn't seem too overly complicated. Now, I would like to take time to admire the surroundings and the environment they've made here, but I do not really have the opportunity to. Doesn't seem like the most complicated enemy in the world, but at the same time he is at least a bit scary, which is more than I can say of most monsters in horror games. Yeah, I'd love to stick around and help, kid, but I'm a little bit busy with me whole anti-demonizing place. Oh, sheesh! Man, he does not hang around, does he? He gets on his feet and he gets moving, and I'm gonna die now, aren't I? Because I'm standing here and doing this when I really oughtn't to be. Sheesh, how have I only done 4? Why am I such a terrible runner? What's with the creaking and the squeaking? Could the creaking and the squeaking creak off? Can I climb the walls? Get the heck out of here. Oh, great, dead end. This seems like a brilliant idea. Why can I jump 0.5 millimeter off the ground? That doesn't seem wholly useful to me. Okay, I think I've lost him. Famous last words in a horror situation, but I think I have lost him. I think I am something vaguely resembling safe. Sheesh, me and my big fat flabbering pie hole. Oh God, give me strength. This is a nice atmosphere, nice game. It's just rather difficult to actually do anything because of him. He's being something of, well, there are many colourful phrases I could, but since I am in the company of a man of the cloth, perhaps I should restrain myself. Oh, this looks lovely. This reminds me of the burning of the books. Is he scared of fire? Probably not, given the fact that he's a demon, which means he comes from hell, which means he's intimately familiar with the flames. Never mind, at least it looks like we're exploring a new part of the world, if nothing else. So hopefully we will find some more crosses. Whew. Man, this does remind me a lot of Saber Beast. Oh, she's still there. I basically have to be sprinting all the time that I can sprint then, don't I? What's with these? How fat was the person they buried in this grave? What's this? Oh, good, another cross. Good. It has also just struck me, it did say something about using the holy water as a weapon. Well, that was useful. That was very, very ineffective. Oh! When you throw a bottle, that breaks it, and then you can't continue to use that. I see, and then you only have 3. I see. So that was not only hopelessly useless because it didn't actually bring me any benefit, it also incurred me enormous cost at the same time. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, sheesh. You kindly get that sore throat of yours sorted out. Need a stoop. Sadly not the type that's hunched over. Ah, speak of the devil. Right, give me the water, give me the water. Okay, well halfway through, this seems perfectly straightforward. Perfectly straightforward. What could possibly go wrong? Every freaking time I just mention you, you just fly out of the abyss, don't you? Oh my giddy arm. But he wasn't even near to me. Don't even try that on me. Right, never mind. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Let's have another go. Okay, so this is nice. I like this. This is a nice, simple, straightforward design. I'm not entirely convinced of the whole using these as weapons yet, but Ignoring that, everything seems to be alright. I assume that if you can use it as a weapon effectively, that will mean... I thought it was climbing over the fence for a minute. I'm guessing if you can use them effectively as weapons, then he will stop chasing you and he will leave you alone for a bit. That must be the case, right? It wouldn't just be that he did delay him for 2 seconds. The cost is too high for that to be the benefit. The cost and benefits must be relatively evenly matched. Oh, stop whining. I've got just as many problems as you. Oh dear, the damage to my ability to hear surround sound is not helping at the moment. Right, never mind. Okay. Ignoring my complete miserable inability to bless crosses, we will attempt to continue for a minute. I can't even think of anything funny to say about this, which is the weird thing. I've been noticing that a lot recently. As much as I'm hesitant to refer to them as comedic abilities, my comedic abilities recently seem to have downgraded themselves a bit. I'm not quite sure why that is. It's most upsetting. Okay, I'm actually gonna... I'm gonna get behind the stoops, I think. I think that's a better idea, because then that allows me to watch where he's coming from, should he appear during my watery moments. Sheesh, they were burying people everywhere they could find space, weren't they? Literally everywhere. Quiet! Oh, sheesh! Giddy on, this isn't easy. I'm alive. Have I just gotten terrible at games? Because it seemed like a few years ago all the games were really, really easy, and nowadays they're really tough. Or have I just gotten really, really terrible? Or is it the combination of the fact that I'm trying to talk and think of things to talk about and trying to make stupid jokes up on the fly that's taking away my ability to pay much attention? Is that it? Possibly. It wouldn't surprise me. My brain never was very good at multitasking. Okay. Why is it like there's a tree coming down? I've got some Canadians. Oh, right, I'm gonna have a try. I'm gonna have a try at pitching him with the bottle so he goes away and he doesn't chase me anymore, he says, turning around in order to try and execute his plan, only to realise that he was coming from the other direction and stabbed me in the back of the neck. I know I'm stupid. Like, I get that 100%. I'm very, very stupid. But at the same time, I didn't think I was quite that dumb. But maybe this game is here to educate me in the reality of the situation. Could you stop moaning? Seriously? Would you stop partaking in sins of the flesh for 2 seconds? I mean, the clergy are here, after all. Okay. He's not around. I've got plenty of time. All the time in the world. Just need to apply a little more strategy to this. For crying out loud, if I can apply strategy to Saber Bees, I can apply strategy to this. Is there another one there? No, that's just a doorway, my mistake. Okay. Just gotta be careful, we just gotta wander around this old western ghost town without encountering this twit. Wherever he is. There he is! Yes! Hello, we're all very glad to see you. We're all so glad that you're so very enthusiastic about coming to church services, but at the same time, could you stop? Oh, sheesh. I thought you had to hold it down to charge and then when you released it, it would throw. Right, I want to at least hit him once with this, just for the sake of at least seeing what happens. I shouldn't be standing out here where he's got about 5 different ways of getting to me. I should probably find myself a dead end. There you are. Wow. That was a heck of a lot more effective than I thought it was going to be. I've got to find myself a stoop. This isn't holy water, is it? Probably not. I've never heard of a river of holy water. As much as I don't quite understand what the difference between holy water and normal water is. Never mind. I'm going to fail my clergy exam. And then what will I do for myself? I'll have to count on the clergyman coursework. Which is what? I don't know. Clergyman coursework. You get a first degree if you can supply... let's see. What should we supply? 7 choir boy virginities. If you can supply them, you pass the clergyman coursework. Oh gosh, I'm going to die for now, friends. I'm dead. Goodbye. Kitty. Right, one more try. I don't expect to win this, because to be honest with you, blessing on 12 of these crosses is going to take all night. Never mind, let's just have another try. It's nice that... It's nice to have a game that's not quite so hampered by story. Because I don't know, maybe it's just what I've been seeing recently, but it seems like there's a lot of games out there that are very concerned about story. And in my mind, anyway... Sorry, I'm going to give a slightly lecture on games design here. In my mind, story should be there to complement good gameplay and facilitate good gameplay rather than anything else. Because if you just wanted a good story, you'd read a book. So to me, if gameplay is good, that's the main thing that matters. And here, as much as the gameplay is very tough, it is good, fun gameplay. Even if it's probably going to end up being far too difficult for somebody of my lack of mental ability to actually work out. Okay, so I only have 4 opportunities, well, 3 opportunities I suppose, to send him away. So I need to average only using it once every 4 crosses. Which isn't great. And I'm going to put myself at a severe disadvantage at the end using that strategy because I'm not going to have any bottles left. It's surprisingly easy to get lost. End up doubling back over yourself again. Yes, let's go back this way. This way went so brilliantly last time. Oh, man alive. I know, you're shouting at me for wasting bottles. I know. Throughout my history I have been excellent at putting away bottles, but never mind. Ignore my alcohol habits for the time being, and we'll get on with trying to figure out what under the sun this naked ghoul wants when he's trying to rustle my jimmies, as a great man once said. Okay, more fire. Lots more fire. I don't think I've been to this part of town before. Oh, that's lovely. There's dogs in town. Excellent. Just as if there weren't enough things trying to nip at my heels at the minute. Right. Sheesh. Fine, you're asking for it. And so am I. I've got to get through 6 more without using that again. Man, and this is easy difficulty? I'd hate to see what hard difficulty looks like. Sheesh. Oh, great. More crosses and I can't do anything with them. Where is my stoop? Where is my stoop? It's a word I'd forgotten from my vocabulary for a very long time and I now very much like saying. Oh, sheesh. But if I die, we're going to say that I got 6. So I have found them, I have passed them, I just cannot activate them because I don't have any water. Why didn't I bring a big water bottle with me? Why did I bring these little files? What's the point of that? Do you not think ahead? Did your mother teach you nothing, you stupid man? Still, what do you expect? If somebody's going to wear a robe as shapeless as the stuff the clergy wear, what did you frankly expect them to do if they have no fashion sense? Oh, sheesh, a dead end. Finally! Sheesh, and I have to go to a stoop every single time. Oh, what happens if I lose it? Right. We saw what happens when I lose it at the end of Northbury Grove. I think that's enough. That's Grime and Gaslight. I don't think I even said what it was called this time. Never mind. Did I even get a score? No, I didn't, because I didn't complete it. Of course not. Oh. This is good. This is good. It's really, really tough, but it's good. It's got a nice design. I'm not quite sure what it is. It seems like old Victorian in some parts, but then at other parts it seems more like a desert western town, so I'm not quite sure what sort of aesthetic they're going for. But actually, I want to have a better look at what's... No, more files, more enemies. No crosses to bless, just try to survive as long as you like. Okay, this could be quite fun to play with, actually. Yeah, just survive as long as you can from the enemy. So I'd like to see, A, if there are different types of enemies, and B, if I can get a better look at the enemies. Because it looks kind of cool. It very much reminds me of a Fallout 4 style ghoul. It reminds me very much of it reminds me very much in its animation of something else as well, but I can't quite put my finger on what. So let's... Where are you, friend? There you are. Survived 39 minutes. No, I survived 39 seconds. Man, I cannot get a good look at him. He's always turning up in the wrong angle. I just want to get a good look. I suppose I could keep running away and just do that. I suppose that would give me a decent look. I suppose I'll try that. If I could stop walking down dead ends for 2 seconds. Doesn't bend you around 180 degrees either, which is irritating. This is a dead end. This is no use to me. Man alive. How hard is it for a man in a dress to get murdered by a naked monster? Ah, you can't sprint backwards. That's my problem. But yes, he seems like a sort of emaciated, ghoul-looking creature. So yeah, enemy's got a nice design. I like this. This is good. It's just not good for me, because I'm really terrible at this, and it evidently requires quite a lot of skill and quite a lot of dedication, and probably quite a lot of strategy. And I do not have the time that I dedicated to things like Saber Beast when it comes to memorising map layouts, developing strategies, and banging my head against the wall. So, that was Grime and Gaslight. That was pretty good. I rather enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope you enjoyed the shotgun. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night. Especially if you're being chased by a crazy demon person.